Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mary D. Show. For those of you that have never been here, thank you for coming to the Mary D. Show. And for we have people that are on this that come to the show week after week. Thank you for coming back. Thank you to all of you, whether you are live, thank you, live viewers, replay, thank you, replay viewers, thank you. It's always good to see each and every one of you every Monday. Remember, the Mary D. Show is live at 5:45. I don't know why I always wiggle when I say that, but I do. I like the 5:45. We are here today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, almost forgot. Hi, Oliver. As all of you know, Oliver is the executive producer. He's actually across the hall, but you guys don't know that part. But he's watching the show from across the hall, and he's always looking at ways to make it better and to make it more interesting, that kind of thing. Let me tell you why. And this week, it'll be out probably this week. Many of you are aware that I write children's books. I have a new one. It is up on Amazon now, but it's up as a digital version. But you're going to be able to get the paperback version. And this is actually just so you can see what it looks like when I was on the moon. And that's this line. You have to ignore that line right here because this is a proof copy, but you guys get to see it. And it's called When I Was on the Moon. First time I've had a little girl on. Really excited about that. It'll be up on Amazon this week. Just have to wait for a couple of tweets. But before the week is out, you guys will be able to get that. But I will send out probably an email and tell you, those of you on the email list, if you're not on the email list, you want to get on that email list. Those of you that are not on there, take the time you can email at Mary at Mary D. Welch, or you can go to, oops, sorry about that. That is actually a text coming in. That's what you just heard. Those of you on the text list, the texts went out. They went out a little bit, like about 20 minutes ago. So right before the show went live. So those of you that are, if you're not getting the text or the email and you just come to the show, if you'd like to get those, send me an email, Mary at Mary D. Welch, and you'll be added to the list. If you want text messages, let me know. If you want emails. Now, let me tell you now, the emails come out at least 3 times a week. And it depends on what's going on. But the emails come out pretty regularly. Text messages, not so much. The text messages are like maybe once a month, twice a month at the most. I don't really text a lot. So just so you're aware of which one you feel more comfortable with. The emails, in my opinion, are the better way because I send out things about history, about different, like there could be it could be a virtual class that's totally free that's about something to do with health. I think the emails are better in my opinion, but the truth is the text is more effective. That's just the facts. We are just like bombarded with emails, and I think we just get tired of them. Let me just tell you the truth. I think we're just kind of tired. It'll be sitting there. So it's up to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. And I say that because it's been a year. I cannot believe it's been a year. It's been a year, but I want to read you the bio of our guest today because this man is just phenomenal. He really, really is. His name is Edward Fairley, Edward L. Fairley. He is not just a CEO, he's a transformational therapist, a speaker, and relationship strategist on a mission to revolutionize how we understand and practice love. As the founder of No Love Incorporated, Edward has dedicated his life to helping individuals, couples, and communities master emotional intelligence, elevate their communication, and heal through truth based connection. With over 2 decades of experience in counseling and relationship coaching, Edward's expertise is rooted in both science and soul. He is the author of the Handbook for Increasing Your Relationship IQ, a critically acclaimed guide born from years of research on emotional literacy and relationship dynamics. His groundbreaking work invites readers to go beyond cliches and dive deep into the why behind human connection. Edward's commitment to innovation led him to develop the No Love board game simulation, a first of its kind interactive counseling tool that makes personal growth fun, safe, and transformative. Through immersive role playing, the game brings therapy into real life, offering users a playful yet powerful way to unpack trauma, improve self awareness, and foster genuine intimacy. He is also the host of the No Love podcast, where he shares transparent, thought provoking conversations that redefine love and challenge common misconceptions about relationships, masculinity, and vulnerability. A devoted husband of 20 plus years and a proud father of 3, Edward embodies the principles he teaches. Whether he's speaking on stage, coaching one on one, or creating tools for healing, his message is clear. You can't fully give love until you truly know love. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the stage. And I'm going to call, like I told him before, I'm going to call him Dr. Fairley, because that's just how I feel about him. And I've been impressed since the day we met. Dr. Edward Fairley. Dr. Fairley.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be back.
I'm just, that you could fit us in your schedule and come back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am just, well, let me say this before we even get going. I see we have comments coming in right now. We have first.
Oh, wow.
Jazzy. Hi, Jazzy. She says, hi, Auntie. That's my niece. And this Jazzy is a super fan. Yeah, Jazzy's here awesome. Every show. She does not miss a show. And then she says, hi, Uncle. Thank you, Jazzy. Then we have, I think this is Victoria. Victoria, is that you? I think it is. Victoria said, hey, Mary, it's a good thing you text me. Hi, Victoria. That's why I love the texting system. It is because we're busy. We all live lives. Yes. And then this is greetings of love and encouragement from the crime survivors speak, Inland Empire in California.
Wow.
It's got to be Noko. Hi, Noko.
Wow.
I tell you. Well, I just wanted to make sure I got those comments in. And then this Victoria, she goes, yes, it's me. I knew it was you. And the other comment, it's Jazzy said, nice to meet you. She's talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
She said,
nice to meet you.
Yes, she calls me, believe it or not, every night just to see how I'm doing.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
I know, I love it. I told her I love those calls. But I wanted to introduce you because many of of our audience, they don't know you. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, the intro was a lot. Like we talked. You don't think about what it is that you're doing while you're doing it, or you just have a mission and you're so focused. So you're in it. So till people kind of read it back to you, you're like, dang, I guess I do a lot of that stuff, or I have done. So honestly, I am a teacher. I'm a teacher. whose topic of passion is love. My
Right.
calling is to help people understand and evolve in the power of the knowledge and wisdom of love.
Right.
And I've realized that there's so many hurdles that prevent that from being able to happen.
Right.
And because of that, I've chosen tools that people seem to be able to gravitate to or they're already using
Right.
as a means to actually be more effective in getting my message across. Love is such a superpower. And when we do understand the truth of the essence of it, that's
Right.
when we can rest in it and grow in the strength of it. But the way that it's presented and the way that it's manipulated, it actually deters people from resting in it, which is
Mhm.
intentional so that we cannot benefit from its superpower.
Wow. So, and then, okay, let me ask you this. What is
Yeah,
love?
I get that.
What is love? What is it? Because it is, and in a lot of ways, it's ambiguous.
Great question. So the best way for me to help understand or help someone understand what love is to help people realize what love is not and what they are being taught that it is. So
Got
I'll
it.
start with that.
Okay.
So love is not what we have learned it to be, which is manipulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So manipulation is I do something for you,
Yeah.
so you do something for me.
Right.
That concept, and we even say it when we describe relationship is 50-50. We introduce our spouses or our partners as our other half. These things make me cringe because they suggest that you really don't understand the concept of what love is.
Right.
And the definition at its root would be, for God so loved the world
Mm-hmm.
that he gave his only begotten son, that whomever will believe on him shall have everlasting life. God
Yes.
gave. There's absolutely nothing that we can give God back for what it is that he gave just
Right.
to have a relationship with us.
Right.
So to conceptualize love is to understand that premise and understand that love is not give and take. It is give as an expression of love itself,
Right.
which means in the superpower in that concept. Well, let me go ahead and refer back to what it's not and what we've been taught. So
Right.
when we do things, we have lists of things that we've done for our partner
Yep.
so that we can have those things to express that, okay, so that means I'm supposed to be getting this back. So you would not be receiving anything as it pertains to love unless you are encountering someone who is just loving you. But the
Mhm.
expression with the expectation of reciprocation
Right.
is manipulation,
Right.
not love. Love is to give as an expression of loving someone or showing their value with no zero expectation of receiving anything in return.
Wow.
Now, the superpower in that is if I do something to express said love to you
Right.
and you don't do anything in return, or your expression after you receive it does not meet my quote unquote expectations,
Uh-huh.
for one, I wouldn't have expectations, which is why I would not feel disappointed, feel
Mm.
like you are disrespectful, or feel like you are ungrateful. Whatever the concept it is that you come up with, you wouldn't feel that way because that was not the intent behind your action. You weren't looking for a reaction. You were looking to express what you know to be true, which is you love that person.
And I already know what you're saying. I just had this conversation earlier about um, someone saying yes to, like, for instance, on a job, you ask someone to do something for you, and you because, and they say yes, or they're going to do it, but they're saying, but behind in their mind, they're doing it so you can do something for them in the future,
Most
not
certainly.
because they want to do that one way or
Yeah.
the other.
Most certainly.
And what happens in that process, it can get lost. Okay, now and then they keep tallies. Well, I did
Yeah.
this much for you, so you should do this much for me. As opposed,
Yeah.
oh, you did this much, and now, or I did this much for you, but you're only doing this much for me. That we're keeping track, and whether
Yeah.
we're doing it, we mean to do it or not, it's being done.
No,
Well,
certainly. No, certainly.
I bought a cake this time. You bought a pie that last time. This
Yeah.
is real stuff, and
Yeah.
people use these things to make decisions about the relationship, about you, about your worth or
No,
not.
certainly. No,
All of
certainly.
those things that have nothing to do with anything.
No, no, not at all.
I'm just
Not
like,
at all. I mean, that's even in our day to day, as you shared. I cook for you, I clean for you, I
yeah,
do all these things. How you didn't do this, or I took you out on a date, and I can't have any. Oh, we
oh,
are. This is how we move.
this is it is. And whether we admit it or not, it is a scorekeeping. It is a tally. It is a. I just had a conversation earlier today about dating, and
Mm.
should I go if I about sending mixed messages? If
Oh
you
yeah,
go
no,
out with
sir.
them, what does that mean? And the one thing
Hmm.
I wanted to tell the young lady is, I know this is hard, but if you sit down and talk about it first, it kind of eliminates a lot of that. But we don't do
Mm.
it.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
go. We think they are mind readers. They should know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's funny you say that because it's so embedded in the culture that even that person feels obligated to do something back
Yep.
for the
Yes.
person.
Yes.
And
Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
Without a
yeah,
doubt.
that wasn't your plan. So why are you trying to do that? If that's not who you are, you don't have to do that.
But
So yeah.
no, no. This is real stuff here. I know for. Oh yes, and I do know, and you know how I know because I've done it. I've done it.
Yeah,
That's how I
that's it.
know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. So those of you in the audience, I don't want anybody thinking, "Oh, she's just no, 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 no." I've
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've done the very
Most
thing
certainly.
I'm talking about. So I need people to understand. That's why I know it and recognize it. And
Mhm.
not to do it is hard.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
for
It's
you.
difficult till it's not. Just like anything else. Anything that you have to learn something is hard. It was not easy for you to learn how to tie your shoe. It was not easy to learn how to ride a bike. It's hard until it's not. When you make a habit of it, it becomes you. It becomes your being. And once it's your being, it's just a reflex.
That's true. And this is, we have a couple of, let me go to the comments first, because I just saw Oliver put his comment in. So I'm going to go to Oliver. Oh, we
Okay.
have a few comments. I'm sitting up here
Mhm.
talking, and they're down here. We go, okay, this is Inoko. Say Inoko. And she sent hearts up. Then we had,
Mm.
see some more hearts. This is from Linda. I think Linda here. Linda said, they're all excited to get into the room. Oh,
Oh wow.
Linda
Wow.
said, hi, Linda. I tell you, Linda,
Welcome. Hi.
I know. You know why? No love. See, that's very powerful topic because I think it's gotten so convoluted. Of
Mhm, mhm.
what
Yeah.
is it? What is it that, and I think, well, I don't have to think, I know we all want it. I had just talked about this today too. How, I don't know if this is true or not. Let me just preface this, ladies.
Okay. All right.
That, okay, I'm a senior. I think a lot of seniors go to church for the hugs, for the
Oh
hugs.
wow. 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 Mm.
Because outside of church, people don't always touch seniors.
Mm.
Inside of
Wow.
church, we hug, touch, love, kiss.
Mhm, mhm,
And it
mhm,
doesn't matter who you are. We don't care.
mhm, mhm.
But when you walk out that door, something changes.
Yeah.
It's not, we don't tend to lean in as much as we do inside. That's what I noticed. And I was just talking to somebody today. I said, I need to write a doctorate on this. I said, because it's a personal observation, but I've seen
Mm,
it time and time again. And I see it. I mean, uh, it's just something about touch.
mm,
And
mm.
remember, what I like about it is unconditional.
Yeah.
Nobody expects anything in that, in inside of those four. At least I noticed in our church,
Mm,
there's
mm,
expectation. No, if you, whether you hug me or not, I'm not mad at you. If you do, I'm not.
mm,
No, it's very neutral, in my opinion. But it is very needed in
mm,
our world. It's very, because you get what is it called? The Christian, a hug and a kiss on their cheek, whatever the case may be. But the point is showing love. And what I like about the expectation for the person to show it back one way or the other.
Yeah, most certainly.
And this says the Revolutionary Love Project for Valerie Kerr. I don't know. Have you read that? Cole? I don't know. I think it's a book. We have some comments. I can't keep up with them. Okay, you guys. Let me going up here because I think I guess what I said at the beginning, I don't think we really know what it is.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Oh, I know that for a fact. That is what I've realized, and this is what I have to combat. And it's so against the grain for people because the first thing people say, well, then someone's going to take advantage of me. Well, so I'm supposed to just let he or she run over me. This is the initial response. So I've done all of this, and I'm supposed to just not expect anything. Well, technically, yes. If you're moving in love, one, you would not be moving in love if you would be moving in love if you didn't have any expectations. And two, it's always interesting that people come to that conclusion after they've decided to be in a relationship with the person or marry them, because I can assure you all of these fruits or lack thereof were there prior to you making that decision, which only suggests that you are in such a need or want of a person that you've chosen a person that was not correct for you. They did not show you the fruits of love to where now you're wanting these things, but it only shows how in desperation you were choosing because you did not yet love yourself. So these are the things, which is why the simulation was created, to hopefully prevent a person from being in the predicament, but also allow for them to see why they're in a predicament if they're already in it and give them the tools to move out of it.
Now, when you're saying that, you're talking about married couples, that could be a divorce.
No, it typically is. It typically is. But unfortunately, if you don't understand it, you're only going to move from divorce and bring that mindset to another relationship, which is going to yield another divorce, which is why the divorce rate gets higher when you get to the second and third divorce.
I think, I don't know if this is true or not. I think after the first divorce, I've seen people now, they usually don't stay married as long the second time.
The percentage is higher. You jump from 50 to 70.
But I don't know why. I don't know the answer to any of that. But I've just watched it, I guess, been an observer. And I think they said this is that you end up marrying the same person, is what I've heard. This is
what I mean by, if you don't understand the mindset or the thought process that allowed for you to make that choice, you're going to do it again. And that's what I am here to do, to help people realize and see it before they go into the same cycles over and over again. But yeah, it's very common for people to marry or be with the same person in the same relationship with different faces. Same person, same type of person, just a different face.
Because I know when I saw Inoko's name up there, I think it was domestic violence. They're saying that's what they tend to, for some, gravitate to they're out of this relationship, but end up gravitating to another person that is also abusive. So I don't know what like you said, going through your program would definitely help someone. They would be able to better see it or recognize it, but they have to recognize it for themselves. Of what is it that they're gravitating to? They don't know.
Well, we definitely don't know. If we knew, we would avoid it, which is why my company is called No Love. It's not even no relationships. It's not even no marriage. It's no love, which can bleed over to any type of setup: work, church, just relationships, your children, all of those things. But what are they gravitating to? See, that's a danger in staying in something long. So I'll give an example. If you have hiccups, hiccups. You have hiccups for a long period of time. Right. It feels weird to not have hiccups when they go away.
Correct.
You almost feel like you're almost trying to force the hiccup to come back because you've been having hiccups for so long that you expect for something that's abnormal to be normal. So let's take that same concept when you talk about abusive relationships or trauma and things of that nature. When you are in that for a long period of time, we're talking about months, years, you're going to be looking for it to happen again.
And it becomes it's your normal.
It becomes your normal. It becomes what you think or you've concluded, and you are now wired to think that love is. So now you're looking for a strike. And matter of fact, the people who have been in abusive relationships that I have to coach or counsel, it's the hardest people for me to get them into a loving relationship, because when they experience love, they reject it because they're looking and they're trying to entice the person to do the thing that they've tried to get away from. It's being institutionalized in your mind. You could do that. That's more than just being in prison or anything like that. It's being in a system for so long so that you can believe or conclude that this is the right way. This is why people that are in abusive relationships, when they're growing up as a child, they see this. That's the only thing that you deemed normal as a child. So when you grow up, you've concluded, oh, this is what I am supposed to do or what I'm supposed to have, because this is what relationships taught me that I'm supposed to have. So these are, it's sad. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but this thing, it's serious. It is really serious.
It's deep. I think it's deep rooted.
Yeah. Almost certainly, it definitely is.
If you've never seen it, I remember this was years ago. We were talking about that. They were not about being abused, but they were raised in a household with only women. Only women did not. So there were no men in the house at all. I don't know, no uncles, no stepfathers, anything like that. So when they had a fight with their husband, they divorced him. Think about that, because they did not know that was. It wasn't a physical fight. I don't want to sound like arguing.
Conflict. There was conflict.
No physical. I don't want to sound like that. Nothing physical. Yeah. Yelling. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Went down to the court and divorced him, because that was like, I don't know what this is. She had no standard for this, no way to gauge what this was. So she thought, oh, this must be it. And I thought, when I heard that, I was shocked. I said, I never heard that before. I never knew that was a standard. But I grew up in a household where I saw people argue, saw it.
Yeah, most certainly.
And then the next day, everybody was kissing and hugging. So I'm like, I must have missed something.
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah.
So for me, I thought it's going to end good because I saw it end good. But at the same time, years later, they divorced anyway. But I'm just that at the time I was growing up and a child and everything in the household, that was, they have an argument and I was saying everything was fine. So I didn't know. That's what I knew as it doesn't last. It's just over. You have your argument, whatever, and it's over with, and you keep going on with life. It tells you we both got different lessons.
Oh yeah, most certainly.
Different lessons. And I don't know that one was any better or worse than the other one. It's just what we saw as children, that kind of thing, and what we have internalized as.
Most certainly.
This is what I have come to realize is this is okay. You have an argument, you have a disagreement, and you're fine. You go on with life.
Yeah.
You don't hold it. You don't lament over it. At least I don't. I don't have time to. And I think because I saw people that did not do that. If I saw that they carried that on and it was on and on and on, I think I would be doing that too. Because that's what I saw. I don't think we really realize the power of the examples that we're setting for our children. I don't think we do.
Most certainly. I'll give you an example of that. And these are reflexive things that we do that we don't realize we're teaching. Case in point, you talked about arguing or what have you. When my children would argue or have conflict, I would make them stay in the same room until they could figure it out. Most people send them to opposite rooms. What you taught them is to avoid conflict and to separate when they are when conflict is escalating. That does
Mm-hmm.
not teach you to resolve issues. So I made them. I'm like, I don't care if y'all have to fake it, but you all have to be cordial to one another in order to get out of this room. So I made them stay together until they resolve their issue, as opposed to sending them to their room. We typically say, go to your room. So
Mm-hmm.
when you get older and you're in a relationship, you argue, y'all go to your rooms instead
Mm-hmm.
of resolving the issue. So these are different things that we teach in schools and everything, but they're counter to what love is. God said, "I'll never leave you or forsake you." Um, so there was a comment that was stated there too. I do want to speak to that. A young lady stated that love is emotional. I wish that were true. It's actually not. And this is another reason why I say the my show or not my show, my company is called No Love is Understanding. Love is probably the most logical thing you could do. It's zero emotion associated with love. And I'll conceptualize it. So let's use scriptural base. Love is patient. Love is kind.
Right.
Love does not boast. These are not things that you will default to. No person will default to being patient. No person will default to being kind. If you get upset, you're not going to default. Now, emotions are things that you default to. They're external things that happen. You
Mm-hmm.
might think about it, but then you'll default to anger. You'll default to impatience. These are emotional responses.
Right.
Patience, though, you have to think, no, this is not, I understand this is this environment or this setup. I have to wait. Being kind, that is not a default. You typically want to get back. These are logical things. That's
Mm-hmm.
why Paul said we have to renew our minds and say renew our emotions. We have to renew our minds. Emotions are defaults. Love is something that you really have to understand and be intentional about. It's decision making after decision making after decision making to be a certain way. But if you go through the fruits of what love are,
Mm-hmm.
not no baby, no child, no person is going to just do those things. Those are things that you have to be intentional about.
And so if you're not okay, so you're saying if you're not intentional about it, it's not love.
No, if you're in your emotions, I guarantee you're typically not moving in love.
Wow. I think we this one no, I'm saying not laughing at them.
No, you're fine.
Our I remember my professor said this in class, and he said, this is when before gay marriage was legal, and he said,
Hmm.
raise your hand if you think this is all about love. And people, I
Okay.
mean, their hands shot up. About gay marriage, it's all about love.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, this has nothing to do with love. I remember him saying in class, he said, this is all about money. Now, anybody
Mm,
you can sit here and
uh,
say that's what this is about. He said, but I'm going to tell you what this really is about. And I'll never forget that class because it was so, I mean, literally 100% of the class raised their hands because we thought that's what this was about. We never
mm.
even looked at the monetary gain of marriage and what that
Oh yeah,
really, you know,
most certainly.
I didn't even, I mean, and why it's actually a contract and why you have to go to court to break that contract. And
Yeah.
it was, I mean, I was shocked.
Heterosexual marriage is oftentimes that way too.
That's what I'm saying, but we don't look at it like that.
Exactly. Oh no, not at all. Not at all. That's what I was alluding to when I stated when people are dating, we end up in those relationships. It's because we feel like I need, and oftentimes people literally are presenting, this is my other half because they are coming as halves, as opposed to two wholes deciding to live home harmoniously as individuals. So
Right.
they're lost if that person isn't there. So they need to immediately replace him or her because I've lost half of what I needed because I did not grow in that area. Now I need another man or I need another woman to fill the void because I did not allow for myself to grow in wholeness.
Wow. That's and
So
that
you,
what I'm seeing and that people do rush back into
oh yeah, most certainly because they did not. They're trying to fill something that they're lacking. They're looking for someone to give them what they don't have. And the crazy thing about it is, um, and that's they're expecting
Mhm.
a person to give them happiness, which implies that they have not given it to themselves. So if you need someone else to make you happy, that's because you don't already have it. So now I've given you an expectation that I have yet to meet. And I expect for you to do that for me. You haven't even figured it out. You haven't even cracked the code to make you happy. Yet you're causing you have the expectation of someone else to do it. And you haven't even figured out. So you can even articulate how they can sustain your happiness because you haven't reached it yet.
Woo!
I have to speak to people all the time. They will complain to me about how he or she is doing this or not doing this, and they draw this picture. And their life is so terrible. And then I ask them, I'm like, okay, so why are you staying? Why are you staying? And they will say the same thing, because I don't want to be alone. And I ask them the same question. Well, if you don't want to be with you, why do you expect someone else to want to be with you?
Wow.
To suggest that you don't like to be or want to be alone means you don't even want to stay in a room with yourself.
Woo!
Yet you expect someone to add themselves to you when you don't even like you.
Wow. Now that's deep. That is deep.
It's the truth.
I always wonder if people just don't want to die alone. Is that it or what? I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Well, see, that's the thing. And this is what I'm stressing. People don't pay attention to the 2 Ds that are inevitable, either death or divorce. You're going to end up by yourself. If you don't get you right, there's no way that you're going to avoid being with you again. They're either going to die or they're either going to divorce you. Those are the 2 options. Those are inevitable options, especially with a 50% plus divorce rate. And then death, that's just going to happen. So if you're going to outlive them, you're going to end up by yourself. So you have to love yourself first in order for you to be successful at this thing called love. You have to. It's imperative.
Woo! Well, we're going to go to our audience, and they have been right here. I mean, I can't even keep up with the comments. That's all. Okay, here we go. I got that one. I don't want to miss anybody, and then Oliver, I didn't even get your comment yet, so we're getting to it. Linda, we got that. We got Amen on Inoko, and then we have here we go. Oliver's. There we go. Oliver says, Dr. Fairley.
Oh wow!
Welcome to the show, and thank you for returning and giving us your expertise on the topic of today's show. I spent almost a year to the day, Oliver. If you can believe, I was looking at your previous one, and I said almost exactly a year ago. So we know.
Wow.
Every time you come, I get learn something. I get those nuggets.
Oh wow!
I really do. I do. I'm just like, wow, because I've seen, I guess you could say, witness things, but I don't know if we know what we're looking at. I right, we think we know. Is what I'm saying. This is what I always think.
Yeah.
People are dating. I said, now you're dating the representative, right? You know that, right? And they're like, what? I said, you're dating the person they think you want to meet. And I've seen this happen. People, they get married and before they get divorced because the representative cannot stay forever. The real person is going to show up. It's just a matter of time. That's all it is. So when they show up, a lot of times we're like, well, I didn't marry that person. I married that other person I was dating. What happened to them? Where'd they go? I've seen it happen. I'm like, I get it. But I wonder what would have happened if they had been themselves from the beginning.
So there's 2 things with that. Let's unpack that statement right there.
Okay.
So oftentimes, so there's twofold. One, I can teach you I literally teach how to avoid your representative. Oftentimes we actually give the representative the tools to act the way that they do in order to woo us to marry us. That's a whole nother conversation. We typically give that away. But I literally teach that. Matter of fact, I think that is Stick to Your Grocery List in my book, The Handbook for Increasing Your Relationship IQ. But I teach that. And that's, of course, in the simulation, how we do it, what it is that we do to cause that, and how to avoid it. That's one. But let's talk about the person who's acting. Let's discuss that. And again, this goes back to love. If you act a certain way to get someone to love you, that means you don't love or like you. Let's think about this here. So if I act or I perform, or what they say, put my best foot forward to woo you or win someone over, that means I don't like who I really am. Otherwise, why would I have to act a certain way to win you over? So this is what I've deemed what's necessary for me to get a partner. So let me act this way for a season in hopes to win this person over. That means you don't love you. So that's one. Two, that also means that if it works, you still don't receive love.
Wow.
Why? Because they fell in love with the act.
Yes.
They did not fall in love with you. So the only way that you can actually experience love is to be you at all times. So that way, when someone falls in love with you, they actually have fallen in love with you. And the best part in that is when they choose you and you all get married, you have no work to do, because all you have to do is be.
Yeah. Just be you. That's what you
That's all you have to. So if you have to consistently think about it or remember to do, that's not you. So you either need to evolve into the person that you aspire to be, so that, as I shared with you earlier, so that you're it's not hard anymore. Everything is hard until it's not. So there's not hard. So you need to work on what's necessary to cause your internal being to become who it is that you're acting like, so that it will be your default setting and that's who you are.
Right.
Or you could just be yourself, which is wonderful, because when you are you, you are going to repel who is not, and you're going to attract who is. So that is the best strategy, is to be yourself, because when you are chosen, you are truly chosen, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are loved.
Wow. I've seen too many, I guess, unfortunately, the representative ones, because they wanted to get married. I've seen it on both sides. I've seen the males and I've seen the females, but they wanted to be married. And so, but this is what I've noticed. They've never lasted. They haven't lasted. They've actually said that, like you said, about putting your best foot forward, and I'm just going to, do this to get a guy or get a seen it. And at the same time, I just haven't seen it last, because like you said, that's not who they really are. They're not being who they really are, whoever that is. I'm just saying, but they're being who they think they want them to be, and that's and that's hard. I'm just going, wow. So
it's too much work for me.
Ladies,
I don't have time for it.
We're telling you, just be who you are.
That's absolutely too much work.
And whatever that is, because I'm trying. I can't think. I can't be. I actually said this though. I was walking with a friend. This is years ago, and she said, and I said this out loud. Now I'm kind of ashamed I said it, but I did. I said, I wish I was more like somebody else, because she stopped me. I forget what, and she literally stopped me. Stop walking. We were just doing our morning walk. She said, "Don't you ever say that again. Don't you ever say that." And I said, "What did I say?" I was like, she said, "Mary, you are who God made you to be."
Amen.
That's it. And this was like long before I've written books or nothing. None of that was even existed. She said, "And be that. Just be that. Don't worry about what somebody says. Don't worry about, be Mary." And I said, looked at her, I said, "You've given me a gift." I thought that wasn't good enough. Think about it. I thought I had to be something else or somebody else or something. And she's like, "No, just be Mary. That's it." It was almost like, I always say, the earth kept turning on its axis. That's how. But it was a gift, because I literally said that out of my mouth. I need to be like so and so, or I need to do so. I remember saying it, and I thought, but it changed my life right then and there. My life.
I think that's where we miss it in our faith walk. We don't personalize it. And it gets me emotional every time I think about it. This is something that I just know. I, me,
Yeah.
you, I am literally to die for by
Mm.
the most valuable being that ever existed, that is life. We have a God who has devoted himself to human flesh
Yeah.
in order to sacrifice himself just to have a relationship with me. I
Wow.
am literally to die for.
Yeah.
So for you, my wife, my children, for anyone to suggest that I'm less than is a joke to me. For
Wow.
me to seek value in any of those beings, my children, my wife, anything, is a joke. I am literally
Yeah.
to die for.
Yeah.
What is it that I need to change?
Woo.
I've already been chosen by the most valuable being that ever existed,
That's right.
that created existence. So who are you
Yeah.
to try to convince me otherwise?
Hmm.
We
Oh yeah.
don't personalize it,
No. No.
and
Until
we miss it.
and she probably doesn't even remember it, but I remember it
Mm,
clearly.
yeah.
I remember it,
Mm,
of
mm, mm,
how I was and what I was doing. I was putting myself down.
mm.
I was, and
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying
Most
I'm
certainly.
not enough as I am. I have to be like somebody else because this isn't enough. That was such a revelation for me when she just said, and I think she does remember it. Um, but it touched my heart. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that's
yeah,
in that minute.
yeah.
That's like when she was talking. I mean, literally, stop walking. She was. It was almost like, don't move. We gonna get
Mm,
this
yeah,
straight right now. What's
yeah,
going on
yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
You, like you said, and now I say this. I didn't used to say, I'm God's favorite.
Mhm,
I'm
mm,
here. I'm
mm.
a planet that is floating in the middle of
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
We are
yeah,
here.
yeah,
That alone is a miracle. Let's just be honest.
yeah.
That's a miracle.
You got to turn into John where he says his name. He says the disciple whom Jesus loved.
Oh yeah.
He's like, you have to make it personal. That is, yeah, it is what it is. And I remember because especially my daughter, she's very protective. She thinks she's security or something. Very protective of me. It doesn't matter who it is. Very protective of me. And when she was younger,
Mm-hmm.
she said because my daughter with my children, we have real conversations. Because when I was brought up as a child, I've been in situations where I was the only one that saw that something was wrong with the dynamics of the household that I was in. It so much so that with the negative stuff, the drugs and things of that nature that was being done around me, they almost were successful in making me feel like I was the wrong one for
Wow.
feeling the way that I felt. So I say
Woo!
that to say when raising my children,
Uh-huh.
I make sure that when I see that they see something that
Mm-hmm.
is truth, despite the fact that the setup might not be
Right.
in a manner that they could change it,
Right.
then I let them voice that, or I will express what it is that I see them thinking so that they don't feel like they're going crazy like I did. So I
Mm.
say that to say the conversations that my daughter and I would have, she would literally say stuff like, "Well, Dad, you let mom do this, or why don't you say anything when mom does this or whatever? That's inconsiderate of you or whatever." She would literally have those conversations with me, and I was like, "Oh, sweetie, that means you don't understand what love is."
Yeah.
I said, "Granted, you may very well be correct, and she should, or it would be best for her to do such and such in consideration of me. So you may
Right.
very well be right." I said, "But I've chosen your mother because I love your mother.
Mm.
That is it. That is it. I chose your mom because I love your mom." And I have to tell couples this all the time. The litmus test to see if you actually love your spouse is to verify what it is that you would change about them. And if those changes would benefit you, that's not love.
Wow.
But if the changes will benefit them,
that's
you
love.
love them.
That's real. That's deep. So that basically, if you're saying if it's about you, that's not love.
There are things that I would change about my wife, but only because I see they do not benefit her. They make life harder for her. The thought process, the perspective, that does not benefit her. It makes life challenging when it could be less resistance. She can move through things more seamlessly, but because she has that mindset about certain things, it makes life hard for her. Those are the only things that I would change, not things that would benefit me.
Right. But then again, maybe that's just how she thinks.
Oh, yeah. Again, I would change it. I'm not even suggesting that she does it. It's things I observe.
Isn't that so? So you said it's not. It's the observation is these things that you would say. Oh, but she may. I guess it's just the way we operate. And then plus you have that. Then you're dealing with male, female. So that's how we think is different, right there.
I see now that is definitely something else. This is one of the first things I have to teach. There's no such thing. All right, so let's conceptualize that. Okay. Male and female, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if this concept is true, then that means, for one, gay marriage would be successful. Let's start with that.
Gay marriage, I don't know if it's successful or not. I have no way of knowing.
The percentages are the same.
I'm not
They're the same.
You got people. You're dealing with people.
But this is my point. You just said how men and women think.
Right.
So if we think the same, we would be fine. That has nothing to do with it. With anything.
In a gay situation, usually one is more effeminate than the other. So one takes on a feminine.
So how is that if what you just stated is accurate? Because you said that women think a certain way and men think a certain way. That's just not true. That's what we've been taught. That's just not true. And that's why I said I use something. I mean, these are tangible things. We can go look at the document. If the percentages are the same, then we've just proven that it's not a thought process. We would think, well, on two men, it would be successful. Right. Or we could just throw the whole homosexual marriage thing out the window. If you find one successful couple, then you should have all successful couples, because these two were able to do that. And as a man thinks this way, then another man is going to think that way, and they're going to be fine. No, that's not true. Now let's make this scriptural. Let's throw that out of the way. Let's make this scriptural.
Okay.
God said, let's make man in our image, right? Correct. So does anything match up with God or look like God? No.
He said no. We don't know. That's what.
Well, I'm saying conceptually. Okay. He's an individual.
Right.
Now, if we're in the image of God, we are individuals. Matter of fact, the concept or generalization of male and female is actually what causes poor communication. It's one of the three roots of poor communication, because we assume because she's a woman, this is how she feels or how she thinks. Because he's a man, this is how he feels or how he thinks. And the things that we think we know, we don't discuss.
Wow.
So we feel disrespected. We feel whatever, because we just know that because she's a woman, because he's a man, this is, I already know how he thinks, and we're off because we didn't take the time to seek the understanding of that individual. So we'll go to read books that say that this is how men and women are, and we're not learning anything about our spouse because we're not taking time with them. We're taking time with the book. And we still don't know who we're with.
So men are not from Venus and women are not from Mars?
Oh my gosh, that is the first thing I had to debunk. Oh my gosh. That concept is, and again, I go back to the same thing. If you have one successful relationship, they all will work.
I'm laughing because the man has to be a billionaire after writing that book.
Yeah, oh yeah, most certainly.
It has to be. We have a couple of more comments. I can't keep up with the comments. I'm gonna be honest with you. Jazzy said, I think Jazzy said she had to go to bed. Jazzy's in Atlanta. So she said,
wow.
yeah. So she comes in, but She says, when you two express to each other about your past, it helps your future last longer and not going through the same thing all over again. That's what she says. All right. Thank you, Jazzy. I think she went to bed, but that's okay. Jazzy said, good night. But there's enough messages here. And, let's see. Inoko. She says, it reminds me of the warning sign of a pack of cigarettes. People still smoke even when they know the risk. Bad even in relationships. Yeah. They are. Inoko. That's a fact. And and even the one thing I noticed too, I don't know if it has changed on smoking or not, but you don't see the commercials. They banned the commercials years ago. And I think the rate of smoking has gone down, by the way. I think it has. I can't.
Well, I have a question. I have a question that was given directly at the bottom. It says, hi, Mary D and Mr. Fairley. Can true love happen within 6 months? Yes. I wanted to marry my wife at the 6-month mark. That was when I was dating my wife or in a relationship with my wife for 6 months, I wanted to marry her. My cousin said, well, if that is true, then can you just wait till it's at least a year? That means you will still be with her, or can you just? I said, you know what? You're right. I can't wait a year. Said, but I'm telling you, this is the one. This is who I'm supposed to be with. We waited a year. A year ended up being her birthday. I proposed to her on her birthday. We got married, I think the following year, and we've been now married for 21 years.
Wow. So evidently she felt the same way.
Yes.
So did she say she felt the same way after 6 months?
No. Okay. No, we actually have never had that conversation. We always joke about, she's like, well, you loved me the first time you saw me. I was like, actually, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. I wasn't even thinking about you like that. But the more I got to know her, which is ironic that the young lady stated real friend. The more I got to know her, the more I fell in love with her, and we became friends before we pivoted into a relationship, which is so interesting to hear. I really have to speak to that before we wrap up. There's so many people who they have their spouse and then they have their friend. Yeah. They don't have a spouse that's their friend. And true intimacy is in friendship. I could tell you what a friend is. A friend is someone that you could tell anything to, and they're not going to judge you, and you just share everything with them, and you feel safe with your friend. So to suggest that your spouse is not your friend, that means you confide in and tell everything to someone else, not your spouse. And it's so interesting to me that people come to me, when they first come to me, they literally tell me stuff. And I'm like, well, why don't you tell your husband, or why you won't tell your spouse? I can't tell my husband that. That lets me know they're not your friend. That's not your friend. And they did not create a comfortable environment that allows for you to share or speak these things. And it's so sad and unfortunate. But
funny what you said. I'm listening to you. But my thing about that, somewhere along the line, they've tried to do it and they were judged, or they were put down, or they said,
I agree,
negative, or they roll their eyes, whatever they're doing.
I agree.
Is that they don't have a safe space with that person.
I agree. And you've missed the category. Sometimes they get it indirectly. They're watching a movie and they responded to a movie a certain way that was not directed to them, and they took note. Oh, well, I could never tell him or her that. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're exactly right. I'm not disagreeing at all. But that also lets you know that that's not your friend.
But I'm going to tell you, we are down to 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Audience, let me say this to you now. I've already asked them, believe it or not, before the show. I said, can you come back next week? We're going to continue this conversation next Monday. So, Dr. Fairley, thank you so much for being with us again today.
Thank you for having me.
You in a week, but I want to tell the audience, thank you for coming today. It's always a pleasure to have you on Mondays. There were so many comments, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't even read them all. So that's a good sign. It's telling you this is a really strong topic. It really is. So thank you again. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
And see you in a week. I can
Yeah,
tell.
be safe. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.